another little story out of my youth. And like I mentioned before, we were living at the edge of the forest because my father was a ranger, and so we played a lot of times in our time at home. We played a lot of times in the forest, and my mother's saying was, out of the kitchen, out of the house, and I'll call you when you need to get back. My father had this very high toned whistle, like with his fingers, and so when we heard that, doesn't matter where we were, we could always hear it. Then we had to come home. But other than that, she kept us out of the house as much as possible because, like in our house, it was our main area was our kitchen. We had a playroom, but it wasn't that interesting. But we had the kitchen, that was our main area in the house. Our living room was only for when guests came or when the priest came or when something happening. Uh, but it wasn't just for us to hang out. Um, so, so we hung out in the forest, and sometimes scouts came, and then I joined them, and we went around. But like nowadays, you build specific areas for trail bikes. Well, we had our little bikes, and we just took them up into the forest, and there were lots of bomb craters. And we had two or three of them, which were kind of in the area. So, because it was just after the war, about 10, 15 years, 10 years after the war, and there were still big craters around in the forest where they dropped bombs from, who knows what. There's no reason. They just dropped them, and they probably missed their goal, and so we had a great time with our bicycles to ride on the trails in the forest, and then of course we kind of ascended down or descended down into the bomb craters and drove around in the bomb craters as much as we could, up and down, and it was fun. And then eventually, kind of, we went home. If we were good, and if it was a time of the year, we would on the way we would pick some flowers in the meadow and bring some flowers home to my mother, and then we might get a cookie or so. So that was basically it. Other than that, there was one custom which we had in our house was, I mean, not just us. A lot of people had that on your birthday you could always eat what you wanted to eat. What your favorite meal was, and mine was a thing called Dampfnudeln, which were yeast dumplings. Um, and they were cooked in a stainless steel pot with milk, and some vanilla or something like that, and it was delicious. And I always had to fight, not always, on my birthday I didn't, but if we made it at any other time of the year, I had to fight my father for the burnt stuff on the bottom because that was very sweet, and he loved that stuff, and I loved it too. So hey, you know, I'm the up and coming generation, so I kind of usually won. Okay.